Hello, viewer. It's great having you on the show today, and welcome to another edition of Viewpoint. It is an exciting and interactive talk show where they talk MRCB. On the show, we talk about everything and anything trending, ranging from entertainment to politics, health, education, lifestyle, power of community, you just name it. All you need to do is sit back, enjoy, and engage in our conversations. My name is Hadiza Galadima, and right here with me in the studio are my amazing co-host Confidence.
Hi Hadiza, hi Peace.
Hi, Confidence.
And we have Peace.
Hi, Hadiza.
Hi. So all we do on the show is spark meaningful conversations, inspire change within our community as we engage in honest dialogue. And now straight to the business of the day. Let's get started. In the words of Adam Curtis, nobody trusts anyone in authority today. It is one of the main features of our age. Wherever you look, there are lying politicians, crooked bankers, corrupt police officers, cheating journalists, and double-dealing media barons, sinister children's entertainers, rotten and greedy energy companies, and out-of-control security services. That's quite deep. Okay, so we will be discussing some really intriguing topics today. First, we'll be talking about the allocation of 70 billion for furniture and repairs by the Senate. Also, we'll be talking on the topic that many people aren't ready to talk about, and that is marriage as a poverty alleviation scheme. And lastly on the show, we will be talking about home training and social etiquette. All this and more after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. This is Viewpoint, talk show where they talk as it be. In an amendment to the supplementary budget for 2022, both the chambers of the National Assembly allocated 70 billion naira for themselves on Thursday. On Sunday, the spokesperson for the Nigerian Senate, Yemi Adaramudu, has clarified that the 70 billion naira budgeted was not intended as direct payments to lawmakers, but rather for the purchase of furniture and repairs in their office. So with the current various socio-economic challenges facing the country, ladies, what are your thoughts as regards the allocation of a staggering 70 billion naira for furniture and repairs in the National Assembly? And there's also another question. Okay, so how can the government ensure transparency and accountability in decision-making process to regain public trust? Confidence. You don't tire for this country.
Peace to just go first.
Confidence is tired of Nigeria already. Peace. Let's hear
So
from
the
you.
same persons that took up the subsidy because they are stealing the money. Because the money is not being used. People are stealing it, and that's why they took up the subsidy. And these are the same persons that are allocating 70 billion naira to themselves. For what?
For furniture.
No, they say it's repairs.
Furniture and repairs.
Furniture and repairs. I live for Nigeria. Like I am, it's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. It has gotten to the point where even the little child, the littlest of children in Nigeria has turned politician. Because the politicians they are raping us. What is 70 billion naira for repairs and furniture? Hey, it doesn't sound real to my ears. 70, somebody even had to come out. Like somebody who went to school. Somebody hey God, and he came out and he stood in front of Nigerians and he looked at us and he called us fools. Because what are you using 70 million naira to do? What are you using 70 million naira? Say what are you using to do for the repairs and the furniture you're talking about? Or let's even say max, let's say 700 million. You're allocating 700 million in 10 places. That's 700 million in 10 places, so that they're allocating 70 billion. Jesus Christ. Is that how bad it is in Nigeria? That they even came out to come on. And no wonder the question you're asking, how are they going to go back to accountability in decision making? How can the country hold them accountable? I honestly don't know how that's going to happen. Because at this point, they've told us, shake a banza, people cannot do anything. It's like they've dipped hands into the eyes of Nigerians and they said, you cannot do anything. Nigerians are crying. You're allocating 800 million to how many families? 80,000 naira per family. Per family for 6 months. 80,000 naira. And that's around 800 million thereabouts. and you are allocating that to families with your full chest, and then you are allocating 70 billion naira
furniture.
for furniture and repairs.
Someone came out
Judgment.
and said someone came out and said most of the politicians in the National Assembly come with their furnitures and their electronic and devices they use in their offices. So they feel it's the place of the federal government
beg you.
to do all these
I
things.
beg you, come with what?
Confidence.
Come with what? I beg you.
Confidence, your take.
I'm weak. That's the only way I can put it. I mean, while Hadiza was talking, strength was leaving me. Let me put it that way. I don't even know where to start. But the question you asked, how would they become accountable?
Transparent. How would they
How are they going to
How can they-
come before Nigerians and say, okay, this is what we did, this is what we did?
How can
how
Nigerians
the
trust them?
government how
Ensure
can Nigerians trust
transparency and
it?
accountability in decision making. Sometimes what we as a people, as citizens of this country forget is that the people in government, there's something in the arts called mimesis, mimicry. And then there's imagery, and then there's this mirror effect.
Mhm.
People in the government, they're a mirror of the citizens themselves.
Mhm.
Because just the other time on one of our episodes of this show, we had seen what Dele Farotimi said about the justice system, that the people that are over us as judges they're like a mirror of we.
Mhm.
The appointment process is a mess. These people in government, to ensure transparency and accountability, like we said, I don't know how it wants to happen because they are the bad eggs. The anointing flows from the head down. It doesn't go from the leg up.
Mhm.
In as much as Nigerians, we as a people, Nigerians, they are lawless. I mean, have you been on the roads? They are lawless. But you find out that the people in government, they are the problem. You allocate 70 billion naira for furniture. My question now is, what happened to the existing furniture that the past regime
Like she said,
used? What happened to it?
Oh, you didn't hear what she said? She said some people say they come with their
With
furniture.
their furniture,
But that's a
their
bloody.
image.
I feel like, but I don't know. I feel like that's a bloody lie. I'm feeling this is a personal feeling.
But it's the
But I feel
truth.
like that's a bloody
It is
lie.
the truth.
Because this is not the first time they're
What
allocating
are you
money for
saying? What
repairs.
do they mean?
But then when people are leaving, because those chairs they didn't buy those chairs, so they leave.
They're
they
taking
take
their
the chairs.
their
They
share
sell
of
off things. The ones they will sell off,
government
they'll
cake.
sell off. The ones my mom, one time my mom told me this thing, that when regime is changing hand, because now we no longer have administration in Nigeria, what we have are regimes. So when the regime is changing hand, go to Panteka. That's how you will get goods.
And for
As in, she said that,
kind of thing.
yes.
Because Panteka is a
But
place
it's where they go to sell
to bring
reused.
stuff that
has
were
been used,
Mhm.
fairly used.
not even used per se. Yes, they are used, but the idea is these things are from abroad. Do you understand? That's the idea. I don't know about some other people, but for you to not come out and say when regime changes hands, you should go to
Go to
Panteka.
Panteka, you
What
get
does
things.
that
People are taking their share of the national cake and it is
taking it down,
sadly,
selling it out.
I feel weak.
Which means every time
How do
somebody
you allocate
Kai.
700 million naira in 10 places for what kind of furniture are you repairing? For God's sake, we
that
have
furniture
houses.
must take them
When
to
our
heaven.
chairs
It must take them
spoil,
to heaven.
when our tables spoil, Hadiza, let's be honest. Have you ever? I want to understand how much should it take to? Except probably the furniture is bad. You
And
say
it
you
cannot
want to
be
replace,
bad.
but if you want to
It
replace
cannot be bad.
in billions, for God's sake, they are not
70
telling
billion.
us the truth.
Yeah.
And this question about how
Now
does
the
the
question-
government want to
Ensure transparency and accountability.
honestly, at this point,
They cannot though.
to regain our trust as the public, forget it.
They cannot.
Trust is something that can be gained in a quick in the
It can be
twinkle of an
lost.
eye. You
It can be
understand?
lost in the twinkle of an eye. It can
Can-
take time.
You can take time to
yes.
gain it, sorry, and then you lose it.
it.
We've
Mm.
lost trust in the Nigerian government.
Long
a
ago. It's
long
not
time
today.
ago.
It's not.
today. It's not
Aye,
today. So
no.
I really feel that they should do something about this.
Mhm.
I think
You are allocating 70 billion naira for repairs and for repairs a bit too.
To
they
acquire
say
and
it's
Honestly,
acquire
repair.
and repair.
Like it makes
And they
you think
thought-
that you don't have
they
as
thought-
Nigerians that we're stupid.
And they thought that by telling us that, it's not into the hands of anybody, we're going to be like,
Okay. Yeah, it's
Hey,
for
Jesus.
justification or
Are
something.
you not pained? Are you this raping that are raping
The
Nigeria?
government of
Will they
Nigeria
get
really
tired?
needs they
And
need like a total
overhaul.
360
Overhaul.
overhauling
Overhaul.
is the best way to put
But
it.
the thing, confidence, just before we end this, the thing is, if you are asking for an overhaul, to replace it what?
There are other people
Because to
who
replace some of these
You know,
people, you know,
Adisa, I
everybody
understand.
knows the right
Adisa,
thing
I
to do.
get
always
what you were
believe-
trying to say. There are other people who their hearts are panting after this nation to make this nation go forward. But do you realize that every right person, in quotes, that has come into the government to, straighten the government out, to put us on the right track, they always stifle their efforts.
Of course, now
They
see,
always
here's the
stifle
thing.
their efforts.
If I'm
They
one
don't
good
like
person,
anything good.
if I'm one good person and I step into a place and I come with wonderful plans and I come here, but I am meeting a corrupt system, eventually that system is going to flush
It's
me
either
out.
it's
Mhm.
either
It's
you
either I
leave
get
the
out
system
or
or
you
I
join.
join
exactly
them.
the system drowns
Corrupt
you.
you.
if you
It's as
cannot
simple
beat
as
them,
as
you
bad
join
as
them.
that.
It's
So
as
if you are saying many Nigerians now ask them, they say overhaul and replace it to what? We need that change. That change needs to start with us. It's not even our politicians.
See, that was
That's
what
just
brought
something.
my statement
That's
that
just
people in
something.
government
The change
are
starts with
reflection
us.
of us as
Thank
the
you.
people.
It's a mirror.
The
change needs to
process to
start with
appointing some of these
Nigerians.
people,
Kai,
the
it needs to
nepotism,
start-
the bureaucracy.
And most people, an average Nigerian, when you ask him when you are being given an opportunity, because most people they'll be asked, like, if you are being given the opportunity to rule or to
take such
sit
a
on a
position.
seat of power,
You need to
what
hear.
would you do? You need to
You
hear
need to
their
hear
response.
some things.
they're
Educated
always
people.
going-
These are not illiterate. Educated people.
You need to hear what they say and all that. Well, to you, our viewers out there, would love to hear your take as regards the 70 billion naira allocation for furnitures and repairs in the National Assembly. Do get involved in our social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now moving on to our second topic of today, we will be talking about marriage as a form of poverty alleviation scheme. A marriage as a form of poverty alleviation scheme is referred to the belief or practice of using marriage as a means to escape poverty. This perspective suggests that getting married can provide financial stability and support, and therefore individuals may seek marriage as a way to improve their economic situation. We all know people go into marriage for various reasons. Okay, one of the major reasons why young ladies and young men go into marriages these days is just escape from poverty, like I said earlier. So nobody wants to stick with a struggling man. And it's also funny how you hear men these days say, I can't marry a woman who doesn't have a certain amount of money in her account, or I want to marry a woman who is from a wealthy family. So what's your take as regards marriage as a poverty alleviation scheme? Confidence, I want you to go first.
Honestly, it's funny. I really wish, and it's bad because it's in this generation.
Yeah.
I really wish that people, I don't want to say young people, but young people of this our generation will actually sit down and face the reality. People think that marriage is easy.
Mm-hmm.
I hear some people say when there is finance, it makes the romance better.
Mm.
Go and ask questions. Go and ask questions ask people who have been in this journey, who have been married for years, and when you bring out the indices that should make a marriage stand, and you see that their marriage is standing and has stood the test of time, ask them, they will tell you. People are using marriage as a form of poverty alleviation. Some people will not tell you the truth, that even with the money in the marriage, you understand that they are suffering. And we see this, I'm going to even come at it from the angle of the family, parents. Because we see a lot of these things in Nollywood, in movies that we watch growing up. Likes of Mama G, the storyline. You must marry a rich man. Your father was poor. I can't. Your father was poor, and I don't want you to be poor. So you find people. It's like the other indices. Is he a man of vision? Does he have sense? All those pertinent questions that should be asked will not be asked. It's just the money. Because we're talking about television scheme. It's just the money. You see parents pushing their children, into marriages because you need to marry a man that has money. Our family was poor and you cannot be poor. We cannot allow you to marry. And maybe the lady likes this other person. He has vision. Yes, he's struggling. He's not there yet, but his future looks bright. Like the family doesn't know that thing you're saying. My husband married me. He said the Lord will help us. We cannot. It's like a circle. We cannot continue that circle. So you will marry Uwezo. Okay, he has money. Odogu Male, Odogu Jakarta. You must marry him. And then you find out that years down the line, this person is going through so much, probably abuse, identity crisis, you know.
And the
You understand? And then the parents will not be there. And then you hear parents say things like, me too. Your father was not good to me, but I stayed. I stayed and I trained all of you. That's what
they'll tell you,
I trained all of you.
when you
Do you
leave the house?
understand? And then these people, and you wonder why we have broken people in the society. You wonder why there's a high rate of is everybody now that is doing podcast. You enter some of these places, and when you hear things that these people are saying, you're like, we need to go back to the roots, because how did this whole thing start?
Where did we get it wrong?
People using marriage as a way to escape poverty. And now when we talk about poverty, we're talking about it from the financial angle, right?
course,
Because
definitely.
poverty, when you talk about
Can
poverty,
be
you have to
several ways.
define poverty. You can have somebody who has money and is poor in mind. You can have somebody who has money and probably generously he's poor. Poverty cuts across it. People think when they talk about poverty is money. It's not really money. You know, but in this particular, from this in this angle, or we're talking about in this particular topic, in the concept of, you know, finance, you're using it to escape lack of money. You're using it to escape lack of material things. They will not tell you. Go and ask questions that when you get into the marriage, the money is there, but there are people that are crying inside that marriage. They end up marrying the wrong people.
There was a line by Davido where he said, "Love is sweet, though, but when money enter, love is sweet."
No, you know the funny thing, right?
Yeah.
He's right in a way, because let's just be honest.
Money
you get
makes the world
married.
go
around.
That's one thing.
Even
That's
the word says that money has direct all things.
Yes,
Even
of
though
course,
that
of
you know
course.
you have to go down to understand
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
But the truth is that at the end of the day, right, he's right in some ways, because you're going to get married, except you're a family that doesn't want children. But even if you don't want children, there are some things you need to do for yourself as the wife. There's something things the man needs to do for himself. So yes, money will make it easier.
Yes.
Finance is there.
Very
You want to bathe, you don't need to start scratching to look for soap. I don't know if you're those basic
I get
things,
you.
but for somebody to say you want to use it as a mean, I just want to marry so that I'll, you know, this
I'll just
poverty,
leave
I'll
this
stop being poor.
poverty. I get you.
Tell
You said-
yourself the
Let's
truth.
have a pick.
Well, for me, I'm coming at this from about two different perspectives. One is marriage is as old as time, almost as old as time. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's not just a current thing. Marriage has been used as poverty. Yes, marriage has been used as poverty alleviation scheme. Going right back to the very beginning. People marry their children to better families, to elevate their own family. People have done that as far back as. It's only in very few cases that people just match without finances coming into
fall in
it.
love.
And yes, they fall in love. People match without finances coming into it, and then it stands. Oftentimes, it's been arranged. It has been used as a poverty alleviation scheme. I just want to lay that it's not just a now thing. Just that now it is prevalent. Now the
craze for it.
Yeah, the craze
no
is
romance,
coming.
no finance,
No romance.
Now it is coming to the head. Now it is coming. Then it was most times marriage was a business arrangement.
business contract.
Yes, oftentimes, but between royalties, you see a lady from this house. She's a princess, but she cannot. She's a royalty from this kingdom. The next thing they will carry her and they'll give her to the king from
whether
this
she
place.
likes it or not.
Yes, whether she likes it or not. They had no option in that. But then the other perspective is, Confidence is talking about family. Family is the smallest unit of society, and one way to rubbish society is come at the family. You don't need to go and attack. You don't need to go and attack an entire kingdom. If you want to influence culture, you don't need to go and start from the head. You don't need to go and touch president. You don't need to go and do all these things. Start from one family. If you can get one family, if you can influence one family, one strong family, and they start to spread out, you've gotten that society. And because this family is the smallest unit of society, we have to be careful the foundation on which that family is built. We have to be very, very careful. Because when you get two people who are just shallow That's shallow, money-minded. Just like you said, before we come on this show, we had a question. We were asking a question amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Can you marry a poor man? And for me, when the question was thrown at me, what I replied was, yeah.
You have to
My,
define
yes, my,
poor.
my
Yes.
question is define poverty. Because when people say poverty alleviation, they just think I just want to marry a man that tomorrow if I say I want to go to Hawaii, winter flight. Next tomorrow if it's London,
Abu
I'm
Dhabi,
flying to London.
Maldives, Seychelles.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to all of them from one luxurious place to another. I think that's the definition of poverty. But again, poverty, like I replied, what is that? What's the definition of
So
poverty?
much
One, poverty can be
dimensions.
you can be poor in vision, you can be poor in mind. Somebody can have 2 billion now, and you jump into that marriage, and the next 2 months,
You're just
gone
there.
broke.
the person has dropped completely to nothing. So poverty is not money. Please, poverty is not money. When you're doing this thing, when you're stepping into marriage, think of, because oftentimes I think it's because we don't look at it as society. That's why we just conveniently and confidently do these things. Look at some of these developed societies. Somebody will just wake up tomorrow and decide, I suddenly don't love your father anymore. I want to divorce him. Oh yes, there are good reasons to divorce. But then somebody just wakes up because you didn't plan it in the first place, because you jumped into it when there was money, when things were rosy and bright. And then as soon as the tables turn, you decide.
Irreconcilable differences.
Yes, irreconcilable differences. Suddenly, the tables have turned and things are no longer rosy, and the person no longer has money. It's now poverty. It's no longer a poverty alleviation scheme or your door. So you suddenly just walk away, and you don't know that you're influencing society. Anything we see today is what started in the home. All of us are products of homes, a product of families, and any rubbish that we are projecting today now, any rubbish happening in society currently started from the family. So as you're going to that family, as you're doing that, I want to marry rich man, I want to marry rich man. And to think of society, let your rich man that you're marrying don't come and scatter my nonsense.
No, but
I have
this
this question for the both of you before we go on a break, because we're going on a short break right now.
Okay.
To cry in a Lamborghini and cry in a face that face you, which will you pick?
See,
Just pick.
Why
Just
do
pick.
I
We're
have
on a
to
break right
cry?
now.
For God's sake. I think
Because
I've
you go
seen
still
that
cry for face me
question.
and face you.
I've seen that question. I think there's there was something peace.
Well, that's just on a lighter note. Confidence, please.
I
It's just
know.
on a lighter
No, but let
note.
her answer it, because this has actually been a bone of contention.
Okay.
It has actually been a bone of contention.
See,
Just go ahead.
you say, okay, will I prefer to cry?
In a Lamborghini.
Well, for me personally, I'd like to say that's not a question.
That's what.
Honestly, because you hear a lot of people say things like, I know at least I have Lamborghini, let me be crying.
You go still cry for face me and
You
face
have the money, but you don't have peace. You know, I think what people fail to understand is that as beautiful as money is, and let's not even lie to ourselves,
Yes.
we all like money.
Definitely.
I like money.
It's
I don't love money,
convenient now.
but I like
And even
money
the
because
like, just
money
like
will
you said,
solve a lot of
of course,
questions.
money answers
Yes.
all.
Ladies, I think we will have to we will talk more about this on another topic because it's not
we need to
ending.
revisit
We
those
need to revisit.
because
We need
it's
to-
plenty.
We need to really revisit because it's actually broad.
But don't cry in a Lamborghini.
Honestly, because you have money, but you don't have joy.
You
don't have
will not
peace.
cry.
You
It's
can't
not
buy
better to
you
cry in a
happiness.
Lamborghini than to cry in a
I
face.
think
that
you don't have
Hadiza
peace.
will prefer to cry
You
in
will
a
still
Lamborghini.
cry. Let's
I
go
think
on a
that your own
short.
is Lamborghini, Abi.
Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Now moving on to our next topic, which is our last topic for today. We will be talking about home training and social etiquette. Home training can mean different things to different people. So home training is referred to the upbringing and education that individuals receive within their homes. This includes teaching children basic manners, values, and social etiquette. Social etiquette, on the other hand, refers to the accepted norms and behavior that govern social interaction and relationships. These are behavior patterns that, regardless of where a child finds themselves, will have an impact on their life. But with all that is happening in Nigeria today, what we see young people doing in terms of talking, dressing, behaviors, and what have you, would you say home training really has an impact in a way a child acts, or when he's grown? Or does this impact of home training stops when he's an adult? Because at the end of the day, when you grow, you say, I have a mind of my own. You get. So, and again, what's your take? Because like the Nigeria we are seeing today is not like the Nigeria we have like 15 years ago. Because like things are changing, we get it. Things are changing.
Okay.
Like
Well, personally for me, I think, and it's a fact that the training a child receives at home impacts that child greatly, because it is the way, or it is the way you train a child, or the training a child receives, that he begins to exhibit when he or she grows up. So, but that does not mean, right, that parents don't try. There are some children, see, let's face facts. There are children that you train well. The parents try their very best. Advise them, beat them when it is needed,
When it is
because all of them
needed.
are home training. Talk to them, befriend them, just do all they can do as parents. And that child somehow still turns out going yaba left.
Really
Yes, yes, it happens. And I think it's a conversation that a lot of us have, because any little thing you hear, your parents did not train you well. Your parents, I've been following a page recently. I think I unfollowed it at some point. And there was a question that was just thrown out there, and some of these parents, by the time they started talking about what they face or what they've been facing, you find out that you see this parenting thing. If God does not help you, honestly, it's hard. Some of these parents talk about how they've given their children the best. Because some of us, we grew up the African parenting style. You beat. You forget that there's also a place of beating. You beat the child with your right hand. You draw that child closer with the left. And some of them talk about the fact that they've tried their best. They've done this. There's something they've not given the child, and that child will grow up, become an adult, and choose their
to
path.
be divergent.
So exactly, that's the word. So honestly, I feel like sometimes it's not that some of these children, or some of us in the society as young people, are not trained from home well. It's just, I don't know how to explain. Something just goes wrong. You understand? And you can't change an adult. You can't change an adult. Once I think somebody is like this,
That's
I
like
know.
this.
I wanted to say something.
Please,
That's
do you understand?
awesome.
Uh, so there is a trend, there is a pattern that if you check Nigerian families, you will see, and that is that every home has a black sheep.
For the ghost son.
Every home has a black sheep. It's like, it's not swear, it's not curse. Actually, look at it. There is that child in your home. Sometimes you are that child who did not grow up. You may not be a terrible person. You may not be a bad person per se. You may not be going to the extreme, but you're just not following the way the others are following.
Your principle comes from something else.
You're not your own. You are your own. You follow something else.
Yeah.
And every family has that, and that should tell you that. Now, I want to come at this from the perspective of home training is beautiful. Etiquette,
very
yes,
important.
is very, very important. But then, I also want to come at this from the perspective of we might need to approach this from a different perspective. In the sense that, now coming from this, every home has a black sheep. Is there a way you need to train? Because there's something I always disliked about education system, about training, anything that has to do with human beings. And that's the fact that it generalizes human beings. It just lumps them, generalizes them. Like a parent now decides the training I used to train in Mbeke is training I used to train in Mori. And that is the same training I'll give to everybody.
It's true.
And the thing is, Mbeke and whatever others, they accept that may collect the training. But that Mori, you see that Mori, you need to follow him differently. Because follow him with that same hand. That if that child caught chain, that child will drag the family's name in the mud. No matter rise and go to anywhere, that child will bring your name and use and clean mud. Use and clean mud. And it's as bad as that, because oftentimes the children are reflections of their family. And so many times you hear you're not trained properly.
Exactly. That's
People
the thing
rarely
that the public will say.
people rarely
Where
say that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm talking about home training right now. Some people rarely say you did not listen to your mother properly.
Thank you.
They will not say
that was what I was trying to say. They
correct.
always blame the
They always
parents.
say you were not trained properly. And that's because parents now, you need to do something. We that are seated here, some of us are going to, in fact, we are looking to become parents in the future. So now, now that you've recognized that this is an endemic, this is a problem in the society.
What are you doing about it?
How do you intend to be different from your parents? Because you're there at the other end listening or watching us right now. How do you intend to be different? How do you intend to attack this situation different? That is one. Then the second one, home training is very important. But then children, I said it, personal culture will continue. Personal, the devil lay hands on. Personal, the devil lay hands on. The devil lay hands on you. That is why oftentimes some faiths will tell you start praying for your children even before you have them. Even before you enter into that home, start praying for those children, because home training, we just talked about society now, just on one of our completed topics. This home training affects society too. Because what is gentle?
Let's not even go into gentle. I think gentle parenting.
And gentle parenting, I think it works on 4 elements. And oftentimes, it's because people take these things and they blow it out of proportion. But if you look at these elements, now let me see the elements for gentle parenting. It works on 4 elements. I think empathy, boundaries, and these 4 elements, I can't remember the 2 other ones. But then these 4 elements determine that you communicate with your children like they're adults. Reason with them like they're humans. I have tried the both ends. I have tried using the Tibozobo. If you're Igbo, you understand what I mean. I've tried to use the Tibozobo to raise children. That is the beating. Beat them. Spare not the rod and spoil. Spare the rod and spoil the child. See that rod? The rod like rod. Use it. I've tried that. And then I've tried this, not gentle parenting per se, but I've tried
to reason with these children.
I've tried to reason. And yes, there are some of them, it's that time that you say
want to
reason.
Test your patience.
They will push you. I was watching a movie. I watched the story. Before, I was watching a clip shortly. And that clip, the girl, because the mother was practicing gentle parenting on the child, the girl now started, Mommy, she was just running her mouth at her mother. Her mother said, you see? In her front, her mother pulled her slipper and used it to stone this child.
They did not call it abuse.
Please, that child needs to be reset. If it's that abuse, the brain needs to reset. The brain reset.
And sometimes these things, like Peace rightly said, these children find a way and they grow and they become part of the society.
Of course.
We didn't even touch this thing about societal or social etiquettes. Being polite, not to be rude, come on time. Some of these things, you see these people, they grow up and they become part of the society and they begin to exhibit certain things that will make the same people in society ask, which home are you coming from? That you will come out early in the morning. We Africans, let's leave Western world. We're trained that when you wake up in the morning, come out and greet
your elders. I will sour your face if you not greet.
They will not do today is gentle parenting. I feel like we as Africans, there are just some things that we should not be copying from the West. They are in a world of their own.
A child will tell me hi.
In as much as you try to train your child, you calm down, understand the child, but there are just some things that you can't compromise on.
You can't.
Social etiquette, there are some things you can't compromise on.
That culture, you come out, you with, hello ma'am, I watched a video of a little child. They call that, it's a Western child, not a he. That boy, somebody referred to him, hi, they called him, and he answered ma'am. And I was impressed because that is not something you find in the Western world always.
It's rare.
You hear people, somebody
call you by
your name at your age. They will be calling you by your name. Nah.
But
Nah. I will sour. You know what is sour? I will slap.
Please calm down.
I won't slap anybody's child.
Your children have to grow and they become proper people in the society.
No, they are. God will help me. Because that child that say he won't talk rubbish, slippers, we talk it.
Truthfully and honestly, most of us, our parents did not go about gentle parenting, and we are
thankful.
We are thankful for that.
Of course,
there's a bad side.
No,
there's a bad side.
No, what is bad is bad.
Yes,
there were sometimes they went to the extreme.
But their parenting made us have sense. It made us have sense. And me, I'm this kind of person whereby if I like, I should be in a generation whereby it is the gentlest of the gentle parenting. I will not take it. When you need to be spanked,
you will get the spanking.
That's just
it. And I will beat you and explain to you why you beating.
My dad wasn't even beating. My dad was beating. My mom was slapping. By the time my mom slaps her ear, it will reset. Any craze that it came from anywhere, it will correct. And many of us have mothers like that too. Many of us have mothers like, you will correct. Because if you swear, they will unswear it for you.
All right. Overall, home training and social etiquette
Ah.
play a crucial role in shaping individual behavior and character, helping them navigate social situations with confidence and respect. Okay, that's it on today's edition of Viewpoints. We really do enjoy your time, all right, and you already know talk show when you talk am as e be. We really do appreciate you and your time greatly. Okay, let's do this again. Same place, same time. We would love to hear from you. So be a part of our conversation by dropping your opinions as usual on our comment sections. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more exciting and captivating episodes of Viewpoint. Subscribe and turn on your little notification bell on our YouTube page at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleke.tv. Till we come your way again. See you next time.